What is a big reset? The internet has definitely been buzzing about the big reset lately. The term has trended on Facebook and Twitter, and the New York Times even published an podcast dismissing it as a conspiracy theory. But it's definitely not conspiracy theory. I was determined to dig deeper into all of this, and I will share facts that the New York Times couldn't find or refused to share. It seems that the Great Reset is actually an initiative launched by the World Economic Forum and designed to enable global stakeholders to simultaneously cooperate in managing the direct consequences of the COVID-19 crisis. The following comes directly from the World Economic Forum's official website. There is an urgent need for global stakeholders to cooperate in simultaneously managing the direct consequences of the COVID-19 crisis. To improve the state of the World Economic Forum is starting the Great Reset initiative. The New York Times ran fake news when they told us all that the Big Reset was just a conspiracy theory and that they owe us all a big apology. According to the World Economic Forum, the Great Reset, global leaders, future state of global relations, the direction of national economies, the priorities of societies, the nature of business models, and the management of global commons. As we enter a unique window of opportunity to shape the recovery, this initiative will offer insights to help inform all those determining the future state of global relations, the direction of national economies, the priorities of societies, the nature of business models, and the management of a global commons. Drawing from the vision and vast expertise of the leaders engaged across the forum's communities, the Great Reset Initiative has a set of dimensions to build a new social contract that honors the dignity of every human being. In other words, the Great Reset is actually just an updated plan for the New World Order. The man behind the Big Reset is Klaus Schwab. He is the founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum, and elsewhere there is an article on WEF's official site entitled "It's Time for a Big Reset," written by Schwab. The following is an excerpt from that article. To achieve a better outcome, the world must act jointly and swiftly to revamp all aspects of our societies and economies, from education to social contracts and working conditions. Every country, from the United States to China, must participate, and every industry, from oil and gas to tech, must be transformed. In short, we need a great reset of capitalism. He is very open to the fact that he wants to renew all aspects of our societies and economies. This means that all aspects of human activity will fall into his plan, but in particular, he wants the great reset of capitalism. This definitely turns the alarm bells off when people start talking about dramatic changes in capitalism. What they usually mean is that we need to move further in the direction of socialism. According to Schwab, the Big Reset has three main components. The first involves reorganizing our economic systems to promote fairer outcomes. Second, Schwab says one of the main components of the Big Reset will involve massive government investment in green urban infrastructure and other similar projects. The second component of a Great Reset agenda will ensure that investments advance shared goals such as equality and sustainability. Here, the large-scale spending programs that many governments are implementing represent a major opportunity for progress. The European Commission, for one, has unveiled plans for €750 billion, which is equal to $826 billion recovery fund. The US, China, and Japan also have ambitious economic stimulus plans. Rather than using these funds as well as investments from private entities and pension funds to fill cracks in the old system, we should use them to create a new one that is more resilient, equitable, and sustainable in the long run. This means, for example, building green urban infrastructure and creating incentives for industries to improve their track record on environmental, social, and governance (ESG) metrics. Doesn't this sound like the Green New Deal that so many on the left in the United States are repressing? Third, Schwab envisions applying the innovations we witnessed during the COVID epidemic as a model for every sector of society. The third and final priority of a Great Reset agenda is to leverage the innovations of the Fourth Industrial Revolution to support the public good, especially by addressing health and social challenges. During the COVID-19 crisis, companies, universities, and other joined forces to improve diagnosis, treatment, and possible vaccines, establishing test centers, creating mechanisms to monitor infections, and distribute telemedicine. Think about what would have been possible if similar concerted efforts were made in every sector. In other words, Schwab thinks that the global response to the COVID pandemic could be a blueprint for managing every progressive area of our lives. Doesn't that sound great? Of course, globalists will have to get Donald Trump out of the way first to incorporate the United States with this big reset, and they think they are very close to achieving this goal. Globalists envision a sustainable future in which all human activities for the good of the planet are closely monitored and controlled. They are completely convinced that a global system in which all the nations of the world are increasingly integrated is the best for humanity. But those of us who resist the globalists understand that a single world system will inevitably transform into a complete and absolute global system nightmare. Globalist publications such as the New York Times and globalist organizations such as the World Economic Forum will try to convince all of us that plans like the Big Reset do not exist, as they openly publicize their plans open. At such times, thinking of yourself is absolutely imperative because there's deception everywhere, and those who tell the truth are often ridiculed. Most of the idea, comment, information, and criticism containing in these videos have been created by Daily News Report. Before making any important investment decision, use the information contained in these videos as a starting point for conducting your own research. If you make any investment or legal decision, it is advised to consult an expert before making this decision.